Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ifeoma Imo, and in today's video I'll be talking about 4 main abstract operations in JavaScript. I have an article on this topic, so if you prefer written content, I'll leave a link in the description below. Let's get to it. In this first video, I'd like to begin by talking a bit about types in JavaScript. JavaScript has 8 basic value data types, and they're divided into 2 categories, the primitives and non-primitives. Under the primitives, we have the undefined, we have null, we have boolean, we have string, we have symbol, number, and big int. Under non-primitives, we have objects, arrays, and functions. And arrays and functions are subtypes of the object type. Let me talk a bit about the difference between primitives and non-primitives. Primitive values are immutable after creation, while non-primitive values are mutable. I'll try to explain that. For example, if I assign a string value to the variable person and I decide to directly alter that value, I won't be able to do that. It will only make a copy and alter the copied value. So if I log what the variable person, for example, still holds, it will give me the original value. On the other hand, variables assigned to a primitive can be reassigned. They can be changed so that they now point to a new value. But the original value they have cannot be changed. For example, if I say let person equal Ifeoma, right? And then I say person equals Sylvia. It just now points to Sylvia, but it did not touch Ifeoma. Ifeoma is still there. It's just now pointing to Sylvia. Non-primitives, on the other hand, can be changed. Non-primitives, in the beginning I said non-primitives are mutable, meaning after creation they can be altered, they can be directly altered. For example, if I assign an array to a variable and I update the array and then log to see what my array now holds, I will get the original value that was there, and the updated value. Another difference between primitives and non-primitives is that primitives are stored by value while non-primitives are stored by reference. Let me explain that. For example, if I declare a variable a and initialize its value to 5, if I declare another variable b and assign the value of a to it, right? A and b basically have no relationship. JavaScript engine just copies the value stored in a into the location of b. They basically have no relationship. If I decide to add 5 to whatever value b holds, b's value will be updated, but a's value will not change because they do not have any relationship. Non-primitives, on the other hand, are reference types, right? They're stored by reference. For example, if I declare a variable Ifeoma, right, and assign an object whose age property is, say, 10 to Ifeoma, and then I declare another variable Sylvia and assign the variable Ifeoma to Sylvia, right? Both Ifeoma and Sylvia will be pointing to the same, they will be referencing the same object. When we talked about primitives, A and B was a copy of A, right? B was copied from A, and then they were stored in 2 locations. But for Ifeoma and Sylvia are referencing the same object. They're both pointing to the same object. If I decide to change their age property, say using Sylvia, right? After all, Sylvia was assigned the Ifeoma variable. If I decide to change their age property using Sylvia, Ifeoma's age will be changed as well. Ifeoma's age will be updated as well because they're both referencing the same object in location. They're both pointing to the same object. So non-primitives are reference types. They're stored by reference, while primitives are value types. They're stored by value. If you want to know what type of value a variable holds or what type of value is assigned to a variable, the type of operator is a built-in utility used to check that. Let us take a look at how values are changed or converted from one type to another. That refers to coercion in JavaScript, or that is referred to as coercion in JavaScript. Now, there are 2 types of coercion. One is the implicit coercion, which JavaScript automatically handles, and it doesn't necessarily always result in what you expect. The second one is the explicit coercion. Now, when you as a developer are obvious about your intention to convert a value from one type to another using inbuilt functions like number, string, that is explicit coercion. When you are using those functions to state the obvious facts that I'm trying to convert from, for example, a string to number or number to string, whatever, that is explicit coercion. So for implicit coercion, if we're trying to, for example, subtract a string 2 from a number 5, JavaScript sees that you're trying to perform a numeric operation and automatically converts the string 2 to the number 2, and then subtracts 2 from 5, and that gives us 3. But if we're trying to, say, multiply 10 by the boolean false, according to this spec, when false is coerced to a number, it gives us 0. When the boolean false is coerced to a number, it gives us 0. So if we multiply 10 by 0, it gives us 0. Another example, if we're trying to, say, add the boolean true to 10, according to the spec, when true is coerced to a number, it's coerced to 1. So if we say 10 plus 1, it gives us 11. So that's it for implicit coercion. For explicit coercion, using the number function, if I pass in, say, string values of 5 and 2, I'm explicitly saying, please convert the string 5 and the number. I'm explicitly saying, please convert the string 5 and the string 2 to numbers, and then subtract 2 from 5, and that will give us a 3. So that is the difference between implicit and, these are like a few examples of implicit and explicit coercion. Now I'm sure we have like an idea of like the different value data types we have in JavaScript and how they can be converted or coerced from one type to another. In the next video, I am going to be introducing abstract operations and talking about what they are, and then talking about the first abstract operations on my list, which is the two primitive abstract operation. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.